Here are my top 10 habits that you can create yourself to be happy. So happiness is a byproduct of what we do. And if we do these things every day, these little changes that we make work together and create bigger, wider changes. There's a literature base that support each of these items, and then also I just want to say that I use these, and I use them every day, or almost every day. So any individual one isn't going to be a life changer, but in small doses over time, these things actually you'll be happy with them. So number 10, I'll count down. Number 10, my no drama rule. So drama is exciting and unexpected events. You don't need it, right? You have to make a hard and fast rule. No drama. So for instance, are you watching a lot of news? Okay, take a news fast. You're not going to miss anything that you need to make a decision on by not looking at the latest, negative events. If it's people in your life that are bringing you down, you don't have to write them off for good, but lower the dose, okay? So number 10, no drama rule. Number 9, protect your sleep. Sleep is just a vital restorative function, and we're not getting enough of it in general. The more I research sleep and learn about the health effects, the more I want to research it because it's fascinating. Once your sleep gets together, and I'm going to do individual videos on each of these items, probably, at least most of them, to help you, because I don't want you thinking, oh, easy for you to say. I've had sleep problems before. You can get rid of them, okay? And when you do, you're going to really like it. Okay, number 8, move. Our bodies like to have a little bit of stress, right? It's called hormesis. It's the idea that when we work out, for instance, that creates some stress. And then we get to rest, and our bodies like that. So start with walking. If you don't have an exercise program, start with walking, especially outdoors. Research has shown us that the same activities done outside has even greater effects. We know that intense, eventually you want to work up to fairly moderate to intense, which means you break a sweat for an hour. That works as well as antidepressant medication. So for bang for the buck, start moving, start gently, and you can build onto it. Number 7, get connected, okay? We know that loneliness and feelings of disconnection raise all-cause mortality, which means heart disease, cancer, other ways that we get sick. It increases as much as cigarette smoking, 14%. Loneliness is very stressful, so you want to find something to do. You can investigate, online what's happening in your area, but you got to get some people. Isolating is very stressful, just like boredom is stressful. So connect with some people. Number 6, create the spa life for yourself. And here's what I mean by that. Schedule time every day for yourself to live like your life is a spa. For instance, if your gym has a sauna, we know that heat shock proteins really help us to feel good. And that's what happens when you get into 170, 180 degree temperatures and relax in there for 10 minutes or more. And also it's dose dependent in a sauna, for instance, which means that we don't even know what the ceiling is. The longer you stay in, the better that you feel. If it is the pool at your gym, or maybe it's maybe it's like a pedicure or something, but you got to schedule at least, start with 20 minutes. If you think you don't have 20 minutes in your life, schedule a full hour, because you have a problem. You need to create this time for yourself. Your body needs it to restore itself and heal, and you just need that downtime away from the busyness of your life. You're worth it. Number 5, breathe. Okay, it sounds simple because we're breathing all the time, right? Well, check your breathing, because we know that we can influence our biochemistry based on the way that we use our breath. So for instance, if you're stressed out, you probably don't notice, you're probably not attending to it, but your breath is probably shallow and quick. I'll give you a video coming up to teach you how to breathe in a relaxed way to bring in more oxygen. We know that we can even raise our pH, alkalinity of our blood, by the way we use our breath. Very stressful, and there are meditative techniques. I'm going to make a video on this. You can explore it yourself on YouTube. to find some things that might work for you. All meditation traditions have some way of using the breath to influence how they think and feel. Okay, and number 4, practice loving kindness. And I'll tell you how. And this sounds weird or whatever. We don't want you to be weird about it. Don't want to scare anybody. But what you do is this. Judgment causes anxiety. And a lot of people are worried and self-conscious about being judged by other people. Well, guess what? The more we feel it, the more likely it is that we're doing it too, right? You live in a world of judgment. You feel judged. You tend to judge other people. So here's how you do this. You walk around, you're going through an airport, or if you're a college student, you're on campus or whatever. Instead of feeling the fear and self-consciousness, you just start thinking about other people as basically decent people, right? And it's a state of mind that you want. You're not looking for anything in return. As a matter of fact, don't let them know you're doing that, right? You just want to actually feel that goodwill towards people, and pay attention to how you feel. It feels really good. And number 3, smile. Okay, now I know that some people would get mad when they say, "Oh, smile," the smiley face, because they think, "Oh, easy for you." But here's what we know: we are a kind of open system, which means that happy events cause us to smile. But then, if we smile, those can cause happy events. In other words, we smile because we're happy, but we can also smile to make ourselves happy, and there's good imaging data to show us that's true. But we don't need that. Just try it. Number 2, heat shock, cold shock. Okay? We talked a little bit about the sauna and how heat shock proteins can work to help us feel good when we get out and change hormones in a positive way. Well, let's talk a little bit about cold shock. So ice cold showers, okay? And I'm going to do a video on this because everybody's listening to this going, no way. But I promise you, we get a noradrenaline, norepinephrine boost is one of the things that happen. We get increased blood flows. And when you get done with a cold shower, you feel so good, so alert, so peaceful. I will do a video to show you how to do this because there's some tricks so you don't suffer when you're doing it. If you do it for a couple weeks to a month, I promise you, you'll love them. Finally, number 1, look for cognitive distortions. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. We all think things that are not true. We all distort reality in some ways. We do our best. For example, if I'm mowing the lawn and suddenly I'm pushing the lawn, like, oh, snake, right? That feels real. But I look down and notice it's a hose. Okay? I correct that distortion, and guess what? I'm not feeling afraid anymore. Sometimes we feel like something is the case, like I feel like no one's gonna like me if I go to this party. That's a feeling. So let's not use emotional reasoning. Cognitive distortions come in all sorts of varieties, and when we clarify them, we feel better, and we get better at recognizing them early. One way to do that is in psychotherapy, because these things are hard to pick up on by ourselves all the time. You can read about them, or if you feel a lot of anxiety and depression and hopelessness and things like that, more than likely you have a series of cognitive distortions or faulty thinking that can be corrected. And cognitive behavioral therapy is one way of doing that. So you can seek out a therapist or work on it yourself. Okay, that's my top 10 list. I will make individual videos of each of these things to get into more details and talk about the purposes for them and try to motivate you maybe to do them. Okay, good luck and let me know how you do.